Hi guys, I'm BenzeneBen and I am here at Nissan Adventures 2.0. You may be able to tell that I'm back at Silverstone again for the umpteenth time, so I apologise if it gets a little bit windy because there isn't a lot of cover around here. Now, first on the bill, you may be able to tell, is we are going to drive this, the R34. I know a lot of you have been begging Tim to drive one of these on the channel for years, and today is finally going to be that day, but I'm going to be at the wheel. I'm really excited. This was a bit of a childhood icon of mine, so I can't wait to experience what the car is like. Then we're going to head inside and do a few little racing driver training exercises, and they also have the brand new Gran Turismo game and 4 consoles set up with steering wheels, all the kit. I'm going to race some of the other guys, including Paul from Supercars of London. And then just to top it off, the cherry on the cake, I'm going to drive a real car with this, a PlayStation controller. They have a fully working remote control Nissan GT-R that you drive from one of these. Quite a scary experience, I'm sure, but something I'm very much looking forward to. So why don't we get stuck in with the day? Here she is then, guys, the R34, the Nissan Skyline GT-R. This is a car that I grew up with on bedroom posters and TV screens. I'm sure a few of you will recognize it from video games, Gran Turismo, Fast and the Furious. It's a bit of an icon of a car, such a distinctive silhouette. Now, the car came out at the start of the 90s. This is the 3rd generation Skyline, and this is sort of the iconic one, the defining one. Now, the performance figures may not sound particularly hair-raising in today's day and age, but believe you me, back in the day, this was a performance beast. So, 280 horsepower, although because the car was produced in Japan, and at the time there was an unofficial horsepower limit of 280, there's quite a few of these that made their way north of 300 horsepower. Particularly stand out on this car from today's performance cars are the brakes. You can see those are pretty much T-sources, not very big, so the stopping power of this car is significantly reduced compared to its modern brethren. Obviously a huge wing on the back, drawing your attention to that. It was a bit of a trademark for this split gap in the wings of a Skyline. Very distinctive back end. The car weighs a total of just over 1,540 kilograms, so not too heavy. And the 280 brake horsepower helps propel it to 60 miles an hour in just under 5 seconds. Now, the top speed is 155, but that is limited, and very much similar to its modern day brethren. This was a car that you could tune the absolute nuts out of. There are people out there who have put 800, 900 brake horsepower in one of these, so it's just absurd what you can do starting with the base of this car. But having talked about it for a minute or two, I think it's time we go and experience what the car is like on track. Now, I do have to say one thing, this car is a bit of a workhorse. It's doing a lot of laps today. It's very precious, especially to the people from Nissan who are kindly trusting us with it today. So we do have to be careful on the brakes. That's not where the performance of this car is, so it's not something we're looking to particularly maximize. But that said, we're gonna do a little bit of lift and coast and not too hard on the brakes. Predictable. We've learnt that. This is such a surreal experience. I'm driving a car that was on a poster of my bedroom wall, and I'm driving it on Silverstone circuit. Wow. You can just feel the body roll of the car. It's very, very pleasant. In my mind, this is such a scary monster. You know, when you're 12 and you're looking at this car and dreaming about driving it one day, you're just imagining that it's going to be a savage beast. I mean, actually, by today's standards, it's not tame, but you know, it's performance road car standards and very drivable.
It's very manageable.
Yeah. Touch of brake, sling it in. This corner you can carry a lot of speed through. Early on the power, straighten out the wheel as much as possible for a good exit. Up to 4th.
Keep going to get to the turning side.
Okay.
Got more on it.
Oh yeah.
See what I mean? Just it starts to squat,
Yeah.
and then it runs out that it's almost like it's bump stops and then it goes.
Yeah.
It's very predictable if you know what you're looking for.
A little bit of damp on track as well is just making it a bit more challenging, but great fun.
It's in box this time, man.
You sure we can't go for one more? This is too much fun. Wow. I mean, I don't know how much of that I managed to communicate to you because I was in my own world of enjoying it. But this is so mega, driving this car. And I'm really surprised how well it performs. You know, it's got pretty good performance considering the car is what?
24
24? That's insane. Really, really cool.
So is that dream come true now?
For the moment, yeah. Until the next one comes around. Thank you very, very much. That was great fun.
Cheers.
Thank you. What a fun little thing to drive. I only wish we had another set of brake pads and some more time so I could go and do 20 more laps. Just mega. I'm so surprised how well it performs and how well it communicates to you. I guess part of that is 20 something years ago, the technology wasn't as advanced. Now don't get me wrong, there is a lot of technology on this car that you perhaps wouldn't think about, and it's only just really being refined in modern terms, rear wheel steer, things like this. But the car communicates everything to you so well, and it doesn't drive itself for you. It's not like some of these modern things, you know, McLarens get a bit of a bad rep for it, where the driver isn't too involved and everything's done by the car. This is pretty much all up to the driver, but you just get such a good feel. As you turn into the corner, the car rolls over slightly, you feel a bit of body roll, but then it kind of sticks there. And then from that point, you can just feel it start to lose grip if you try and push it a bit too much, if you try and get on the throttle early. Very, very, very predictable. Really good fun. And yeah, just a massive tick on the bucket list, driving an R34 Skyline GT-R at Silverstone, no less. What an awesome day. Okay then. So, next we are going to check out what is over here that they are calling the Nismo Lab. So this is a little bit of a scaled down version of a driver training setup. We have the Batak attack here, which is used for training peripheral vision, reaction times, that sort of thing. A set of very, very advanced scales here that will measure your height, weight, skeletal mass, body fat index, balance between the different sides of your body, pretty much everything. And then we have a RaceLogic V-Box set up, so later on, once we've done our race car laps, we'll be able to come and compare it to a professional driver. But just for now, a little bit of a look around the circuit, see what they're doing, where they're braking, what sort of lines they're taking, to give us a little bit of an idea when we're out there on track. Okay, so now that we've had our driver training, we're going to get stuck into not quite the real thing, but we're going to go and check out the brand new Gran Turismo game, which they have set up here on 4 arcade bays, and we're going to race against some of the guys here, including Paul from Supercarsoflondon. Bit of a flat start. Oh, I'm already done into the first corner. It's all a bit messy. So that was awesome. The main thing is we won and we beat Paul, so really happy with that. But yeah, really cool to play the brand new Gran Turismo game. Little bit of experience in the My 17 GT-R. We had everything turned off to make it as realistic as possible. However, things are about to go up a level in realistic, because now we're going to go and drive a real car with a PlayStation controller.
He pushed me off.
Mate, you saved me. You actually won the race for me.
Teamwork.
So we've come to the infield section to try the PlayStation controlled, remote controlled Nissan GT-R. Now from the outside, it very much looks like a normal car, barring the slightly coloured out front headlights. However, it's once we dive inside to the car that you will really see the difference. Look at that. So we have all sorts of systems in here to control the car, press the pedals and alter the gear shifter. We're going to have a look at how they work in just a minute when I get my hands on the controller. Just look how weird that looks. I can't imagine being sat in the passenger seat alongside it. Now how all of that is controlled is from the boot. So if we pop that open, here we have a huge tank of gas to help move the steering arms and press the pedals, a few different modules to control the inputs, and kill systems in case it all goes wrong. Not exactly what you'd find in the boot of a GT-R normally, but very, very necessary for this car in particular. Now, obviously with all of that in the driver's seat, I can't be sat in the car while I control it, so I'm going to be sat in the Nissan Qashqai, which will be following the car as I control it with a PlayStation controller. So we're going to hop into here now and see just how it all works. Obviously lots of aerials and things on the roof of the car so that my inputs get through to the main car. Here's how I will be controlling the GT-R, and it's pretty much as you would expect if you were driving on a PlayStation game. You have brakes on L2, throttle on R2, then we control the steering wheel with the left analog stick. Up on the D-pad selects forward gears, down on the D-pad selects reverse, and we won't be using the face buttons today because we can't change camera angle and we're not going to be doing any handbrake turns. So why don't we get started? We are about to drive a Nissan GT-R with a PlayStation controller. I'm out of handbrake mode, green for first gear, so as soon as I let my finger off the brake pedal, we will be away. Oh, let's do this. Oh my god, this is strange.
Try not to clean out as many cones.
Yeah, I do want to say for the camera, I haven't knocked over any cones yet. Those were all my compatriots.
You're turning left just after the cones on the left here, so see the gap there.
It's hard to get used to the feel of this. Very, very weird.
Hard left and back onto the same lap. Can we have a couple of laps like that, please? You've got 150 mile an hour brakes.
Yeah, when I'm doing about 20. Oh, that was a bit fierce on the steering.
When you get in the flow, it all goes. The green cone represents the back wall of a garage.
Okay.
So you're going to pull from here, pull round to the left. You'll need full left lock. Head over towards the grass just before the grass. Stop. We'll select reverse. and this is where the depth perception
Okay.
gets a little bit more difficult because you're not following, you know, so you have to reverse in so your rear bumper just touches the green cone.
Okay. That's the idea.
That's
anyway.
the aim.
I feel like I want to swing it a little bit to
Yeah,
the right.
it's not a bad
first.
plan. But remember, you've got limited left lock, so be careful.
Okay.
Hold it on the brakes.
On the brakes, down. We're gonna hit that code.
I think you might be.
Yeah. Well, it's scary enough parking a supercar in real life. Never mind about when you have no reverse cameras, no parking sensors, and you're not even in the car. Yeah, near enough.
Make that garage wider.
There we go. Pay and display.
Awesome.
What an incredibly unique experience driving this Nissan GT-R with a PlayStation controller. How many times can you say you've done that? And now I'm sat in the car that I've driven, but I've never sat in the driver's seat of it. That's such a weird experience. The driver's seat's full of gizmos and pistons and gadgets. Just so odd. This is the kind of thing that I'm going to be telling people about for years to come. And very difficult as well. A lot of you might think, oh, I drive cars on PlayStation all the time. Now, I'm very familiar with a PlayStation controller, but you have to think, not only are you driving a car where you feel none of what the car's doing, but you're sat in a car that's following and you're feeling all of what that car's doing, which is more often than not counterintuitive to what you're trying to do. So I'm braking for the corner whilst our follow car is still accelerating to keep up with the GT-R. So not only do I have no feel of how much I'm braking, I feel like I'm still accelerating. So I want to stand on the brakes, make sure I don't hit the tyre barrier, which just causes the car to come to a complete stop. But very entertaining. I'd love to try it again sometime. It's definitely the sort of thing you need to put a few hours into to master. However, that said, the highlight of the day for me has to be the Skyline R34. That is a car I've dreamt about driving for years. Just such an icon of its generation. So much fun driving that. And then, just to make everything that little bit sweeter, we also beat Paul at Gran Turismo. So, I don't think we should let him live that down for a while. I'm not going to. You guys shouldn't either. But you should subscribe, and you should check back tomorrow, where we'll have a brand new video for you, with probably someone else's face. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to leave that here. Cheers, guys.